What Republicans want to do is that they want to repeal that very historic piece of legislation that is also going to lower energy costs, that is also going to help fight climate change. They want to get rid of it. So there is a contrast that we are going to make, which is how Republicans are actually going to make things worse.
That was White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre claiming that inflation will get worse if and when the Republicans take the majority in November, as the Biden administration is reportedly releasing even more oil from the already depleted emergency stockpile. Meanwhile, a Saudi prince related to the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is sending a threat to the West after President Biden's warning following OPEC Plus's production cut. Joining me right now is Kansas Senator, medical doctor himself, and member of the Senate Energy Committee, Roger Marshall. Senator, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for being here. I mean, to hear the Saudis threaten the United States after Joe Biden said he's going to get them back for cutting back on production, what's happening here? Is this relationship deteriorating?
Maria, well, it sure appears like it, and I think this is why most common sense Americans believe that energy security is part of national security. We have a very undisciplined person in the White House that's unable to connect the dots here, that he doesn't understand that because of his snuggling up to Iran, that Saudis are already angry with the United States. So here they have the opportunity to use oil as leverage, and this is one of the reasons we have high gas prices, is here we have Joe Biden once again declaring war on American energy and asking other foreigners to help us with our own oil when we could be taking care of this problem ourselves.
Well, he's also having this trick of, releasing oil from the Strategic Reserve to try to keep oil prices low going into the midterm elections. So what about these moves to release all of this oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve? I thought this was an emergency stockpile, and yet now we understand he's about to release 10 to 15 million barrels again.
Right. So certainly we better hope we don't have a war, because that's what these are meant for. Is in case of war, we need increased supplies of oil, of gas. We have those reserves. Meanwhile, he's taken 1 million barrels a day out of production from federal lands and waters, another 1 million barrels a day because of his rules and regulations that affect mainland United States, and another 1 million barrels could have been coming down the Keystone Pipeline. So this president has created these problems. That's why I'm here in Pittsburgh, Kansas, campaigning for Mehmet Oz, who believes in American energy security as well. This state is rich with natural gas, has great opportunities as well, and this economy has been shut down by Joe Biden. We need another senator to help us control this majority and push back on Joe Biden's war on American energy.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Senate race that we are all watching. The November midterms are exactly 3 weeks away. Most polls do show the economy as the #1 issue for voters. But the White House is claiming that the president has done the work to halt soaring inflation, Senator. And Karine Jean-Pierre just said that if the Republicans take the majority in November, you're going to make it worse.
Well, I think most of us are laughing, and Americans aren't that stupid. They realize that Joe Biden has declared war on American energy and American agriculture, and that's what's driving these prices up. But I am excited. I've been out to Utah, to Nevada, here in Pennsylvania today. There's a lot of momentum. Mehmet Oz is running a great campaign. America doesn't need another rubber stamp for Joe Biden. We need someone that's going to push back on Joe Biden. That's why we need Mehmet Oz. That's why we need Herschel Walker down in Pennsylvania. But look, it'll take a year to turn around these energy policies of Joe Biden and his war on agriculture as well. But we'll need a Senate majority to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Herschel Walker in Georgia. Do you think this is one of the key races in terms of the balance of the Senate? You've got Herschel Walker in Georgia. You've got Blake Masters in Arizona. You've got Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania. What are you hearing from voters in terms of familiarity with these folks?
Oh, it is exciting. If you meet Herschel Walker one time, you're going to realize he's one of the most effervescent personalities you've ever met. He's a born leader. Was down there visiting a couple weeks ago. I'm going to be down there on Thursday visiting with him and helping him campaign. I think the people of Georgia understand this, that we don't need a person that's going to rubber stamp Joe Biden's policies. We need someone that's going to fight for American energy independence, fight for American agriculture. And, again, going back to your original point, I just wish the White House would go buy gas themselves themselves, go to the grocery store themselves. Everywhere I go across the state of Kansas, across the country, all people are talking about is the price of gas and groceries. They're talking about an open border, and they're talking about who's going to control our schools. Those are the issues. Everything else is down, 2 standard deviations away from that.
Well, and then there's Joe Biden failing to keep China in check. He has yet to ask Xi Jinping about the origins of COVID-19, where millions are dead because of this, released from a Wuhan lab. Boston University scientists have now created a new COVID strain in a lab with a reported 80% kill rate, Senator. What are we doing at Boston University? They combined the Omicron variant and the original virus first detected in Wuhan, China. It has 5 times more infectious virus particles than Omicron. What do you make of this, and why are we playing around with COVID still?
Maria, it is just unconscionable to think what they're doing there. This is definitely vital gain of function research, which was outlawed. This is why we're calling for a total moratorium on anything that looks like viral gain of function research. Look, they took the original SARS-CoV-2, the Wuhan virus, and they added the Omicron spike to it, so it's more infectious. It sticks like glue to lung cells and infects the bronchioles. If you ever noticed a kid with like RSV, that stridor sound they make, that wheezing sound, that's what this is going to do. It's much more lethal. This is why we need to stop it all. Why does NIH continue to fund this when they know it's wrong? And EcoHealth, once again, involved with this. This is why we need a Republican majority. We need Rand Paul leading the charge on this issue and hold those people accountable.
By the way, is China involved in this Boston University experiment?
Maria, that I don't know. Of course, you're going to have more questions than I have answered.
Okay.
They definitely used the Wuhan virus. They probably got it from Washington State, though.
Unbelievable. Senator, good to have you this morning. We're going to be watching all of this coming up with 3 weeks before the midterms. Thanks very much for being here. Senator Roger Marshall joining us. Thank you, sir. We'll be right back.